Friday morning. Hopefully they're on their way to put tyres on that tractor. I'm off out on the sprayer. Morgan keeps catching me up. I keep doing some spraying off the grass weeds in front of where he's working with the top down. And he's, yeah, just keeps catching me up. So I'm going to do that, leave him to doing that, and hopefully if it dries later we'll get the drill ready. And tomorrow we can get where's worked drilled up to date, because it's supposed to now rain on Sunday, and then next week looks a bit rubbish as well, which is a shame because originally it said that we got 10 days dry weather. So anyway, just keep going. This field was destined for winter wheat, but it was too wet to get on. It's a little bit wet still on this headland. It's got grass weeds along that edge and a few in the middle. So I'm just spraying it off, hopefully get some of this sort of surface compaction out of it. Let this little tiny breeze, not much because obviously I'm still spraying. Hopefully it'll dry out. We can get some wheat in it tomorrow because the weather's going to break. We'll obviously have to avoid that bit once filling in really that hole. BM Transport here for a load of OSR. Got a meter, so we've got to quickly shoot across the other side of the river, do that and then get back. You're not telling me you've used a whole tank of diesel, have you? Yeah, but what? You've been out since 5:30, so how many hours has it done on a tank of diesel?
Including yesterday, quite a bit really.
Yeah, all yesterday and now, what, 6 or 7 today?
Yeah. It's done a fair bit.
Acreage wise it has, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Got it dirty.
I know. I had a bit of a nearly getting stuck moment up with gas.
Oh.
I really thought I'd binned it. If you wiggle the steering wheel, it'll walk its way out.
Don't. This field, when we pulled in it yesterday, there was a massive puddle there, which is now gone, and that one was a lot bigger. And most of that's nearly disappeared now. That's what we drove the quad track through yesterday, and that far one's getting a lot smaller. So hopefully we might get on that tomorrow. Get some wheat in it again. This is another field that's really wet. Morgan's done most of it today. Anyway, John's over there because we're extending this pond on the low side to make it a bit more usable on the scheme that we're doing. We've stripped off the topsoil now, so this bit of clay and this arc will go onto there, and then the pond will be that much bigger, and then that topsoil then will go back over the top. It looks a big hole on it from over here. This is drying off nicely now. Hopefully we can drill this tomorrow. This field was OSR, but there's just not enough of it to make a crop. You can see it in patches. Flea beetle demolished it, we re-drilled it, and it still got eaten again. Didn't get going because of the wet weather. So now, hit the reset button, sniff the glyphosate, work it up, get some winter wheat in it, some skyfall wheat that hopefully will grow this late on. I'm just waiting for Morgan to pull in this field. He seems to have set off down the road, and I don't know where he's going because I think he's going to the wrong field. He's been and turned round now after going in the wrong field, so we'll see what it does in this one. Can you see the OSR there? That's where the chicken muck was tipped. It was that rich there, it didn't grow. Where it was spilt around it is mint because it got growing that quick, faster than the flea beetle, and then that's the rest of the field. Anyway, here's the, hopefully he'll fit in that gateway there without them willow trees bashing his mirrors over. It's got certainly got a presence on the road, hasn't it, when you look at it compared to cars. Is everyone just gonna like, oh yeah, someone's letting him in now, not bad. I thought they were all going to pile past him, then queue and cause the junction to be blocked. Which is what happens to me sometimes with the sprayer. No one lets you turn in the field, they all pile up, get to the junction, I can't turn in, cars can't turn in, and you end up with gridlock like the Italian job. It was a bit windy yesterday to explain how everything works. So basically, set of discs on the front there, they're fully adjustable for different depths. Then set of feet, ripping legs, they're adjustable to different depths. At the moment, we've got quite a narrow point on the bottom, going a bit wider on the top. Then you've got them star things, they level it off. You can adjust the depth of them, and then the roller on the back you can also adjust as well. So we've got the roller now set, so we're just using the weight of the roller, but not putting any real downforce on. The roller's just floating, and we're trying to like lift the ground but leave it quite aerated and a bit fluffy to get the air into it so it dries out quicker. Anyway, he's going to unfold it now. Morgan set off round the field to map it, and I was like, no, stop, just fold it out first and then do it. Can you see there? That's where the quad track drove, and then that's where that drove because it was folded up. The axle weight on that's horrendous, and you can see there, if you look, the quad track's cut in like 1/2 inch, whereas that's cut in like 6 inch. Just floats like a hovercraft, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, I don't know what that weighs, but it ain't light, and it's just on a single axle, so yeah, you don't really drive around. Anyway, it's folding out now, and then you can get to work. Only takes, what's that took? 24 seconds. And he's off. This at the front, just slicing through. Then we're getting some air into it, and then the packer packing it back down, but it's definitely lifting the soil up about 4 inches. It's putting about 4 inches of air in it. It's just been beaten out of it by the persistent rain over the last 9 months. Try and get a slow-mo of it working. Bit of a wet hollow, got a little bit of slippage there, but still moving. It's greasy on the top. Out of it now, and off he goes again. Probably worse on that pass because he's actually on the tram line, so it's naturally got a little bit of a bit more compacted where it's going, and also a bit slippy where the tracks are because I've been through spraying it and then the water's run into it on the top, so you don't half notice the difference when you're on the tram line going up and down field. So every sort of 6 passes, will it be 36 metres, every 6 passes you're on the tram line. Some of this here, it's actually pulling up dry soil ish. This is what we're up against. It's just solid. It's totally battered by the rain. You can see it's starting to shrink a bit where it's dried, but the consistent rain landing on it, just beating it to bits. Probably hard to see, but yeah, you can't really see because of the hedge, but now we've kind of like lifted the profile up. But the only gaps in that now is just a little top inch where it's shrunk slightly. This here where it's had a bit of weed on it, you can see underneath it's still quite porous there. But where there's nothing growing, just washed and capped off. See underneath how looks like an aero, but yeah, shows you just by having that, catching the raindrops and letting them disperse, stops them getting beaten and pushed. I mean, you see how squashy that is. Was there, can't even leave a fingerprint in it. There's that, goes in 1/2 inch. Right, I've got a marker pen, one that we use for doing the birthday bumper. I'm going to put it there. It's just slightly below the surface. Let's see if that damages it. Whether it smashes it to bits or it just drives over it. So far so good. Oh, I'll keep going. Didn't hear a crunch. Whoa! $27 ton and it's not even cracked it. Incredible that, isn't it? It's not cracked at all, that. Let's try it with a bateman. I'll wait for Morgan to get out of the way so he doesn't diss my phone up. So we'll put it in that hollow there and then let's see what happens. Oh, not gone far enough. To be honest, that didn't break it either. Well, that is on pretty fat tyres. Hopefully there's no wind for the birthday bump. We've got Oscar Sam, Morley's 3, Rowan Commander Colburn is on there, Andrew Perry, contract's going past, Barry Holmes, Joseph Metcalf 7, Henry Roberts is 26, Ian James is 36, Jack and Edwards Jacobs on there, they're 11, Simon Simpson 60, and Tom Blakemore is 38. And Morgan is now approaching his 12th hour on the quad track today. You can tell he likes it if you look, he's took his shoes off to drive it. His socks. Rob's just going to go now and jump on with Morgan for a bit because he's going to be on the quad track, I think, tomorrow, working ground. I'll carry on spraying. Morgan's going to hopefully sow some seed, like I say, this Skyfall winter wheat that should have been in by the end of December. Well, yeah, should have been in like September, but we're gonna sow it now. But ideally, it should have been before the end of March. And John's going to finish that pond off as well, all before it rains on Sunday again. And then it's going to be wet, I think, for the week, which is so annoying. Anyway, today's quiz question: how many acres did he do before he needed to fill up with diesel on the quad track with that 6 metre top down? Let us know in the comments, and I'll see you tomorrow.